Greetings, Flesh Wound Horror freaks, and welcome to Flesh Wound Horror Live. I'm Flesh Wound Dan, joined by not the only man with the box tonight, but producer Tad.
But you know what? I got 2 boxes.
You've got 2. Mine are deboxed.
So,
but
then they're already unboxed, Dan.
The box has been sullied. Yes.
No. In other words, Dan's all out of box. Understood.
I still have boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Got boxes here.
They're empty.
No, they're not empty. These have movies in it, Ted. Different kind of box, but I do have some box sets tonight.
But you're not unboxing. Well, I guess technically they're in a box. You still will unbox them.
Yes. I've got more than that, Ted. I've got like 6 or 7 boxes, I think, that qualify as boxes. So
we're back to the 3-hour stream.
We're not. I'm doing the book stuff separate on a separate show now. So that will make them a little bit less. But I do want to say thank you guys for staying up with us tonight. I know a lot of people complain about there not being late night streams anymore. So we try and do it when we can. And also, if you haven't listened yet, check out our guest, Jasmine St. Clair, on a recent show. Well, we did a bunch that day, so go listen to them all. There is a horror pack unboxing. There's a Godzilla Kaiju Chaos commentary that was a lot of fun, and there'll be more of those, so check it out. And we will, of course, be live Wednesday as well. Todd.
Yes.
I made my first giant Halloween-themed purchase. Now, there is no way that I'd be able to show this off on stream because this is over 20 feet tall. I don't know. It's really big.
You could still show it off on the stream, Dan. You just have to use your phone.
Yeah, I could do it that way. But I'm on Instagram now, finally, so I can do it there. But it is giant. So getting ready. I'm going all out for Halloween this year. I always kind of do. But yeah, spirits are already opening up, Todd. I'm excited about this.
Only 100 days. So no, 96 days till Halloween.
I consider like August 1st.
I'm talking till the actual day, Dan.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to do math right now, but that's
apparently not, because you didn't realize that's how far Halloween is. You're like, it starts. Shut up, Dan.
Hey, fuck you, Todd. God damn it. That's why I was Jasmine's favorite, Todd. She senses the bad vibes from you. But Todd, what box are we spreading open first?
I don't know. We want to go big box or little box?
I think you start with the little box,
Then we can put it in the big box after.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the little box today is TerrorVision. So let's see what.
Now you're a subscriber for them too, right?
Yes, I did 10. So this is my. Well, we'll see how many are in there. I think there's 2. So this would be half my subscription then, because I've already got 3. So I only did it for 10. So, all right, let's open it up. All right, I see Steyer well boxed.
I do think I'm going to sub to Vinegar Syndrome next year because
after you've just been like shaming me about it, you finally.
In fairness, I didn't realize I could do it once every month. I thought I had to do it every 2 weeks for a year.
What do you mean?
You do it. You pay for the subscriber once a month, right? So you're like $100 essentially a month.
Yeah, but I do. I don't know if your thing has it. I only use PayPal one.
Oh yeah, no, it does.
Okay, then yeah.
I think you can go up. I don't know if you can go beyond a year. I kind of doubt it, but I think I could do it for the year. I'm spending.
And it wouldn't make sense to do it for longer than a year because then it's gonna catch up, and then what happens when you want to renew? If you want to renew, then you're still paying off the year before. So
yeah, I'm confident Vinegar Syndrome's going to be around for a while, so I'll do the year.
But we're not talking about them yet. First, we got
TerrorVision.
Okay. And let's see what. All right. Cat. Well, let's do this.
There you
All
go.
right. So we got Captives.
Oh, nice, nice.
Are you familiar with this one, Dan?
Yeah, I think this is an SOV heavy package. It's been a while since I've watched Captives, but I am very familiar with another one I think you've got.
Captives.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, it is definitely SOV. I can't.
I'm kind of curious to see, because, you know, TerrorVision, as far as movies go, still fairly young, so they're obviously doing a lot of international stuff. We reviewed Shrigala recently.
We did. That was from the first package.
Nice. I do plan on grabbing that.
So yeah, that's the first one. I don't know, maybe watch that one soon. Now this one I remember, not an SOV. Some guy who kills people.
You know what? Like, we reviewed that forever ago, I think. And I want to say you were a little more high on it than me. I liked it. I just thought it was
I'm also a fan of his, so that helps too going in.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed it, but I just thought it was a little overrated. It's been a minute. What year was that out?
I can't.
It's probably been at least 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, it has. I can't see the date on that, but if
what up, Ghost?
You know, figure it out, Dan.
I'll figure it out. That's fine.
You're gonna slow me down. So then the last one, probably the one that
2011.
Thank you.
Cannibal Campout. Yeah. That's first on my list.
Yeah. But, you know, they're knocking out the ones that, not Shriekerama. What was their sub-label?
Shakorama.
Was it Shakorama, the one that was putting out all the SOVs? So they've already done this one, and they've done the video violence. I wonder if we're going to get more.
Oh, yeah. You remember the basement set? That's one of the last things I have with the VHS.
I just pulled that out the other day. It's actually sitting out, and probably because I was going through like this, because I still have this on DVD and in the set.
This was Camp Motion Pictures, I believe, was the last release. Camp Motion Pictures.
That was the label, right?
Yeah. So
yeah,
a lot of those are coming out again. The video violence set, which I think is sold out now. I could be wrong.
Yeah, because that was one that went out of print.
Yeah.
Because that was through the Vinegar Syndrome label. So I don't know if they're going to come out again or go back in print or what. But so there we go. Those are the three. This is the ones we got this month. So we got Captives, Some Guy Who Kills People, and
very cool.
Cannibal Campout. That's probably the one I watched first, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. No, that basement set. It's one of the bigger DVD sets that I have.
Yeah, it's a little bit bigger than a real big box, though.
Brian Trash got the Enter the Video Store box set. I think I might have that here. You're lucky you got it. It's sold out now, so that thing's going to start jumping.
You unboxed one of the last one, though, didn't you?
No. Well, we did a separate little video, so technically.
Okay, well.
Yeah. Not a Hatman, though. You'll get to see it again.
All right, so here we go. I don't remember what I ordered as add-ons. So we can all...
Vinegar Syndrome now?
Yeah, we can all figure out. I don't know. Oh, I do know where the Showgirls replacement disc should be in this.
Okay. Now, here's the question. If I order it now, I just automatically get the correct disc, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm keeping my eye. That hasn't dropped below 1,000, but I will tell you guys in the chat, if you want Undefeatable with Cynthia Rothrock, that is at like 130. So if you want that 4K, that's about to be gone.
When was the last time you looked?
Earlier today.
Okay, 130.
Yeah,
FOMO starts kicking in. I wouldn't be shocked if they're gone.
If you want Undefeatable, which is a really fun, it's not Cynthia Rothrock's best, but if you like bad, fun movies, if you're a fan of New York Ripper or Miami Connection, you're getting to the point where you're going to pay a lot of money for it. The other one that I saw that dropped below 1,000, now it was at 900, so maybe be around a little bit, but Boogeyman 4K, which just surprised me actually. So that one, the other one that dropped below 1,000 is A Blade in the Dark, and I don't think that one is going to last till November. So if you want A Blade in the Dark, I'd say probably get it.
Now, did this one
there
sell
you
out?
Go. I don't think it did yet, but close. I have a lot of stuff on the way.
Every time I see this, I just think of the Jackass logo.
I'm glad it's selling well so that they consider more out there fringe foreign titles. Nice.
Brian said he got his copy from Grindhouse Video.
Oh, very cool. Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, we'll see how this one is. I haven't seen it. It was partly, it was getting low, but Dan said it's a good one. So I went with Dan on this one, which could be. But here's what I know Dan's excited.
Well, I didn't recommend it to you, but
no.
You're going to be able to sell that probably for a lot more if you don't like it.
That's my thought process now, too. All right. There we go. I know Dan's excited for this one.
There are so many. There's multiple movies called Delirium, but that is fucking
I looked in it.
Awesome.
Well, it's my second favorite Delirium, but
yeah, but it's a damn close second.
I'm not arguing that. I'm looking. This was
I should say this is the Renato Pulselli directed film. I think it was 1972. Mickey Hargitay was the big name in it, but yeah, that is a great sleazy as fuck Giallo. If you're a Giallo fan, yeah,
we will have to make a reason to watch it soon. Okay, there we go. We got
double it up with Strip Nude for Your Killer with Edwig Fenech.
There we go. We got the Showgirls replacement.
What's wrong with it again?
The 5.1 track was all jacked up.
Okay, it's usually always the 5.1.
Yeah. All right, our next one. This is the one I know Kruger's all about. Gorgo.
I do plan on getting that. I like Gorgo. It's a British kaiju film, and I always enjoyed it. It's better than some of the Godzilla sequels, to be honest, around that time. I was not expecting a 4K.
Right. It beat Godzilla to 4K.
Wait, isn't Criterion is putting Godzilla on 4K, aren't they? The first one?
I know it's coming out on 4K, but it beat it.
Okay.
And is it Criterion or is it just the Japanese one?
I have to double check. Somebody in the chat might know. I know that's coming to 4K.
I know there's a few. Kruger even mentioned on the commentary, but I don't know if those are from Criterion. But okay, here's one. This was I know this had been one of the $13 ones because I was grabbing some Culture Shock stuff that I missed. Haven't seen this one, but $13.
It's not great. Great slipcover, but I like Western horror. Like I said, that one's not really that good, but I have a thing for Western horror. A lot of it tended not to be great at that time, but I do love that subgenre.
Yeah.
Kruger's got to watch The Burrowers. I don't know if he's watching right now, but he's got to get on that one. I think he'll love that movie.
Here we go.
Night Ripper.
Another one I finally picked up because it was on sale.
It's coming. It's funny. I mean, I do have a decent amount to show off tonight, but I've got a shit ton coming from Vinegar Syndrome and the sub labels. Severin, I have Make Flicks that needs to come. Cauldron. I've got a lot of stuff.
Black Manuel's about to drop.
Oh yeah, fuck!
They're
I still have
shipping.
Black Emmanuel. Yeah, Black Emmanuel. We will be slowly covering the Black Emmanuel box. It's not going to be one show though.
No, we're going to go disc by disc. And I know she's canceled, but here we go.
Ooh,
the heart is deceitful above all things.
Asia Argento. Yes. She's, if you're unaware, she's not while she was making the movie. A lot of people kind of have that mixed up. But yeah, she got canceled for banging the actor that played her son in this. But years and years later, in fairness. It's a bit of a downer. Marilyn Manson is in it. It's a good movie, though.
But the slipcase is a little different. It's got a really high gloss to it. I don't know if you can see the shine on it versus the normal matte feel. So, and it's got a high gloss on the pink. So, that's different. All right.
They could have they should have just put Manson and Aja on the slip cover.
All right. Next one. Okay. Here we go. Adam Rifkin Film Festival.
Nice. I didn't grab that, but
I know this is one once it's sold out, it's done.
Yeah.
I figured grab it now. I liked like the home movie stuff like this. I know what's his name? Babysitter Massacre director.
They're a little blurry there, Ted.
Oh, sorry. What's the name of the Babysitter Massacre director? I can't think of it right now.
Enrique Cueto?
Yeah, he has one of
that's popular now. Early shorts sort of thing.
So is that one? So yeah, those are fun to watch. All right, here we go. This was one I was excited for.
Terror.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that movie's a fucking piece of crap. I'll probably get it too, so I'm not shaming. But
I like that double feature. Last Slumber Party is another one, also on that one old DVD.
Yeah,
that I hope we get a release of.
It's a lot of extras. I mean, I can't spin that movie. It's a terrible slasher film.
Save your thoughts. I have a sneaking suspicion this is going to be coming up in something soon. All right, here we go. Oh, well. I grabbed this one. It was one of the cheaper ones. One I hadn't seen yet, Dan.
You'll be seeing it again tonight, Red Sun Rising, which features the girl in that, Terry Farrell, who most of you know from Hellraiser 3, but she was also Jadzia Dax on Deep Space Nine.
Cool.
Todd's going to burn the slip now. That's a pretty solid Don the Dragon Wilson movie. I know a lot of people seem to be pissy every time they announce a Don the Dragon Wilson Blu-ray or a Cynthia Rothrock Blu-ray, which is insane because she made so many.
Don't forget Billy Blanks.
Oh, Billy Blanks gets shit on the most. Yeah.
Well, it's like the line used to be this line used to be more than just those three actors in a movie every month, which is what it feels like.
They're working through their catalog. I don't have any issues with that.
I think it's just that's my.
I mean, Cynthia's Hong Kong stuff is phenomenal. You know, some of her American stuff isn't as good, but like I said, Undefeatable, if you like bad action movies with kind of a slasher twist, Undefeatable is a lot of fun. I have that ordered. I was like, oh crap, that's dipping already. Psycho Girl's nice. That's that one, I don't remember loving it. It's an unusual movie. It's kind of like a Canadian slasher comedy to a degree. It's a very unusual one. kind of curious to revisit it because
Yeah, I don't remember it, so that's another one that
yeah, I don't even think I've ever had. I mean, I think it was like a shitty VHS that I might have had of that, or it might have been a DVD. I don't know. I saw it well over 20 years ago.
All right, here we go. The Tortured Souls trilogy.
Got that too because that was selling out. Now I believe you got it with the Slip. The Slip is sold out, I think already, but that one, I don't know if that's a sellout though. Like I still think you can get that on Amazon later. But
that I can't confirm, but yeah,
I ordered it. Pretty sure I met that director, but I'm not 100% sure. He always used Stephanie Beaton, who's a scream queen you guys may or may not remember, but she had a kind of a run in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s.
Well, here's the thing with this next one. I own it in a horror pack, but it was on sale.
Sounds like you're ashamed of this one, Dad.
Well, no, I'm not. And we've, friends with the filmmakers. Well, one segment in particular, and that's December.
Okay, yeah. I didn't buy it because I have that Canadian release that has the band story,
right.
The band segment on it that they cut out of like the digital version and everything.
Yeah.
Does that have the cut?
Yeah, of course. No,
it does. Okay.
This is the uncut one.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's the whole. Yeah, so I grabbed it. I already have it uncut from the horror pack, but
very cool.
That one I was like, well, all right, support the filmmakers.
Clip says Don the Dragon Wilson was a legit bad some bitch. He was. I don't know if you remember, back in the day, he had an open challenge to Jean-Claude Van Damme, who probably would have killed him because he's the man. But I would have liked to have seen that fight.
So, Dan, I'm curious if you know this one, because this one I definitely feel like we're going to have to double it up on the Dark Side of the Ring episode. And that is Fake It So Real.
Fake It So Real. I don't feel like I ever saw this. What's the year on the dock? Does it say?
I think it's new. I don't 20. Wait, maybe
I'm
that's
kind of like in a. I'm not really buying wrestling stuff unless it's XPW oriented.
2011.
Okay, I don't think I ever saw it.
Yeah, and I believe it's about one promotion. So I don't know. I was curious. I was like, well, it's wrestling related. It's a doc. I'm going to check it out. So
very cool. Maybe a Squared Circle Society, possibly.
You don't listen to me when I talk. I already said that, Dan. Jesus Christ.
I was checking the chat, Dad. Not a good multitasker, Dad. So is that it?
That's it. We're done.
Oh, shit. Well, I'm not done.
I'm done. Bye.
So you're passing the torch to me then?
I'm passing the baton so you can.
All right. I won't keep you up late because it's just movies I'm showing. But I will soon have a book/collectibles show because I actually do have some collectibles to show off plus some books. But I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm going to try and keep the movies separate for you guys that don't particularly care about the book stuff. All right, guys, check the chat once and we'll be off. Yeah, I love Don the Dragon Wilson. Again, I'm not saying every movie he did was awesome or anything, but he was a staple of the video store. Like it kind of discourages me when people shit on those releases because I'm like, there's only so much left to put out that is, marquee now. I mean, Scream Factory's just putting out their old shit on 4K. And I got a couple of those tonight.
To be fair, though, Dan, that's not a marquee line.
Huh?
To be fair, though, that VSA line is not.
I agree.
I
agree.
But you said that.
I'm talking about people bitching because it's not like something.
But that's the thing though. There's never a marquee title for that line though. It's always just little oddball stuff that come out of nowhere.
Yeah, but like you said, people still bitch
It's-
about Billy Blanks. And...
well, yeah, and I think it's just the being the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
But like if they threw out something like totally oddball out of the corner in there and mixed it up more like they used to do, I think that's the biggest gripe for that VSA line.
Yeah, they can stop putting out Billy Blanks movies once they do Tough and Deadly and Back in Action, the two he did with Rowdy Piper.
And I'm not saying they need to stop putting them out. I'm saying space them out a little bit.
Yeah. Balance of Power is another good martial arts movie he did, but yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure they will.
Sorry, I was putting stuff away and I heard, and I just had to throw that out there. There's like no marquee titles on that line.
That is all right, Todd. That is all right. All right. So I'll kick it off with something mainstream, which is not a bad movie. It's dumb, but it's fun, and it looks great on 4K. Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Amongst Thieves. What you see is what you get, kind of, with the trailer. It's not one I'd recommend for everybody, but if you want, I was like, you know what? Walmart had the 4K. It was an impulse buy, and I was like, fuck it. It does look amazing on 4K. So, all right. This one, there's a story behind it. So, my mom and dad are not horror people at all. Really, nobody in my family is. So, I'm kind of the oddball that way. But this was not their first date movie, but it was my dad was in the Navy, and my mom back then saw 2 horror movies in her whole life. One was Rosemary's Baby, which traumatized her, and this was their date movie while he was in the Navy, which kind of killed any kind of horror or thriller for her for a very long time, and that was the Clint Eastwood film Play Misty for Me. I had this on DVD. It was a cheap Blu-ray, so I finally upgraded it. Haven't watched it in a long time, but it is really good. Clint Eastwood was kind of trying to branch out and do some different stuff around this time, and it's a good psycho stalker flick. The Beguiled is another very I don't remember loving that one, but it's another odd Clint Eastwood movie. What up, Jay? Jay is a fan of Play Misty for Me. Yeah, it's a really good movie. I'm looking forward to rewatching it. It's another one I've probably been like a decade at least since I've watched it. So yeah, that'll be fun. I haven't watched this yet, but I picked up on Blu-ray the new Donnie Yen movie, Sakura. Another Walmart pickup, I think this one was. I know that Keanu Reeves is probably going to be back in John Wick. I kind of feel like they should just leave that story since it ended and just do a Donnie Yen movie with his character. Honestly, that's probably what I would it's probably what I would do as well. Shit, Jay, you should do Play Misty for me. That would be something a little bit different. I do miss the commentaries. This is one we reviewed recently, and I want to say maybe it was Kruger that was a little, he didn't hate it, but he was a little wasn't as big on it. I liked it. It's a new creature feature called The Tank. You can check out our review on it. I like this one. I thought it was a really good, had a lot of practical effects. Thought it was really cool. It took place in the Oregon coast, which is nice. Never lived in the Oregon coast, but I used to vacation there all the time. Kind of reminded me of when I'd go up to the Sea Lion Caves, which is like one of my favorite vacations back in the day. I always loved it. Yeah, we're due a Wednesday night commentary, Jay. We need to make that happen. Now this, everybody here loves Lucio Fulci. Obviously, anybody in the YouTube horror community loves Fulci, but this does not get talked about enough. This is his Italian Polizia film Contraband. Now, this is, a action crime flick, but it is also gory as hell. Cauldron Films put this out. I love this movie. I'm so glad they put out a new Blu-ray of it. It's nasty, it's ugly, and it is a lot of fun. If you haven't seen Contraband and you're a Fulci person, Contraband is essential. What up, Jamie? How's it going? How have you been, Jamie? What have you been up to? What up? What up? If you guys have any questions about anything, feel free to drop them in the chat as I go along. So I loved this show, and I fell behind, and I was really glad that Mill Creek put it out. I really enjoyed the movie too, but I got the complete 12 Monkeys series on Blu-ray from Mill Creek. I think I paid like $25 for it. This is well worth it. It's a damn good show. I'm finishing it up now. I actually restarted it. This is shockingly solid stuff. A little bit different. It doesn't quite have that same Terry Gilliam vibe as the movie did or anything. Of course, it'd be hard to kind of do that with the show, but there's, like I said, it's different. You don't have to see the original movie or anything to follow this. There's kind of the Brad Pitt character, kind of sort of, but it's a woman. Aaron Stanford, who kind of plays Bruce Willis's role, is really good. Very good to hear that, Jamie. Cancer free. I'm very glad to hear that. Hopefully we see you around a little bit more now. Bug Zombie, I think you'd like the tank. You can go back and check out our review of it. Cliff is gay he for Fabio Testi. That's good. It's not on that Fahey level, but no shame there. But yeah, 12 Monkeys, I've really enjoyed it. Sci-Fi Channel had some original series. The Expanse was really good. I still have to go back and finish that. I heard a lot of people weren't happy with the ending, but if you like hard sci-fi, I really enjoyed The Expanse. You'd probably like that, Jamie. I don't know if you've ever checked that out. 12 Monkeys I'd probably recommend too. So this one's I picked up from Vinegar Syndrome. Some of these are going to be out of order, but that's fine. I like this movie. It's not quite as good as the imagery might suggest, but Curse of the Blue Lights. Code Red put out the DVD, and I actually got this one used off eBay with the slipcover too, so we got a pretty good deal on it, as you can see there. But like I said, next year, I think I'm going to become a Vinegar Syndrome subscriber, because why the hell not? I get almost everything, so just pay it each month. But yeah, Curse of the Blue Lights I remember being pretty fun. What else do we have? So this was a must on Blu-ray. There was a Japanese Blu-ray, but it's been like out of print and really expensive. But I upgraded the DVD. I've recommended this a lot. You probably, I want to say one of the early streams we did with Hayden back in the day, we watched this trailer, and that is Zombie Ass Toilet of the Dead, now on US Blu-ray. This is out of that wave of really like batshit Japanese horror sci-fi movies. This is probably my favorite. Dead Sushi's a lot of fun too. But I don't know. I have a soft spot for this one. If you want like crazy movie night, crazy what the fuck movie night, Zombie Ass Toilet of the Dead is a ball. And it's nothing like too kinky or anything. It's just it's a fun what the fuck party movie that I think you'll want to check out. Yeah, Jamie, I don't know if you're a bit, well, of course, obviously, I know you're a Twin Peaks girl. I don't know if you're like a big science fiction person, but The Expanse, there's a lot more to it. Ghost, are you an Expanse fan? I thought for some reason, maybe forever ago, I might have talked to you about The Expanse, but it's a good show. I haven't finished it, and I hear some people weren't happy with the ending. What's up, Magic Hands? Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Another one that I picked up, and I kind of file this under 2000s horror that I don't remember hating, don't remember loving. In all honesty, I just don't remember it well at all. But it both movies are on Mill Creek Blu-ray. I got the White Noise 1 and 2 double feature. I'm just doing a rewatch because I don't remember a lot about it. And sometimes you're surprised. You go back and you end up really enjoying it. Of course, this is Mill Creek, so even if you don't get it right away, this will probably be on sale and pretty cheap so far. Bog Zombie, did Media Blasters put out the zombie ass Blu-ray? They did, yes. I think they might own those outright. People forget that Media Blasters is still a thing. Yeah, Nathan Fillion is in the sequel, Jamie. He did it, I want to say sometime a little bit after like Slither and Serenity. I don't remember that being bad either. So it's just been a while and I forgot. Sorry, answering a text. Let's see. Yeah, Jamie, so far I really like the 12 Monkeys series. Like I said, I didn't get to finish it. I don't know why. Just life stuff happened and I didn't finish it. My understanding is the series, it ended like they had it wasn't a cliffhanger or anything. It's actually a very satisfying ending. It doesn't have the Gilliam vibe though, but it's quite good. Very serious. A lot of people have a impression about Sci-Fi Channel just through the wacky creature features they do. I'm like, there's actually some damn fine sci-fi series on there that people should check out. Ben was a fan of White Noise too. Got this from Full Moon. This was a 92 film, I believe. My dog's a fan. Netherworld. This is a good one. Quark. Enough. This is a good one. Kind of a little bit more serious era of Full Moon here. I haven't actually watched it in a while. I'm glad it's on Blu-ray now. I will say Blood Dolls, I'm stoked for. That is a great fucking cult film. Blood Dolls is just a perfect example of that oddball Full Moon late 90s, very early 2000s movie that just, it's never been matched since, and it probably never will be. It's just that very unique period of time where we were getting stuff like The Creeps, Head of the Family, Hideous. I'm a big fan of a lot of those movies. Oh yeah, Bog Zombie. Jamie's a big Twin Peaks fan. Ghost, I get what you're saying because I do love the 95 movie, but the 12 Monkeys show is really good. Time travel is a hard thing to do as a story, and they've really maintained a very solid and complex story with it. I don't know. I don't know. You might enjoy it. I don't think you would hate it. It's extremely well acted. But yeah, there's another one called Continuum, also kind of similar. I think that was time travel too, and it had something to do with the terrorists. It was a very kind of a similar story to 12 Monkeys that aired around the same time. Let's see. Some art house science fiction from Saturn's Core, which is a Vinegar Syndrome sub-label that I've enjoyed quite a bit. They put out a lot of very low budget and SOV stuff, but Red Cockroaches, very low budget film. I saw this at, I believe, some film festival. Might have been in your neck of the woods, Ghost. It was a long time ago. I mean, but it's a really weird movie. Again, super low budget. So if you're not into really low budget stuff, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you like art house science fiction, it's interesting. I think it's like kind of connected to a universe, like 3 films or something. Not like sequels, but same universe. I'd have to look into it again. I haven't popped it in and looked at the extras yet. I've never been to a Twin Peaks con. I have met a lot of Twin Peaks actors, though. I have Sherilyn Fenn. She signed my Boxing Helena poster. She was really cool. I've met Ray Weiss, Carl Stryken, who, God, in person, huge, big guy. He is somewhere back there in a block of Deep Space Nine autographs, actually. Who else have I met from Twin Peaks? I've met a lot. Ray Weiss, met him several times. He's really cool. A lot that are escaping me at the moment. I've probably met at least a dozen Twin Peaks people, but I've never done a Twin Peaks con. All right. This one, a lot of people may remember because it had like a theatrical release during lockdown and actually managed to make some decent money. The Wretched. I picked this up, I believe, at Second and Charles on Blu-ray. We reviewed it forever ago. This was one along with like Relic, and there were a handful of others that, oddly enough, were probably never meant for any kind of a theatrical run, but they did make some money, which is cool. Because I don't know. I have a thing for BDSM movies, I suppose. I did pick up the Unearthed Classics edition of Tokyo Decadence. Really good movie. Don't watch the 50 Shades crap. Check out Tokyo Decadence, or 9.5 Weeks, I think is a great movie too. Haven't watched this one in a little while. Unearthed Classics, they're putting out a lot of good stuff. They have Full Body Massage with Mimi Rogers, I think, coming out next. They're doing all kinds of stuff that you might not expect from the Unearthed line. I've met Dana Ashbrook, Jamie. I've met him at, I think, Monster Mania and Chiller. He's always pretty cool. Like I said, I'm kind of drawing a blank. Carol Stryken, I've only met him once. I don't think he does the rounds as often, but he was a really nice guy. He was really cool. I know Jay's a fan of this one. I picked this one up a while back, but you guys know I loved God is a Bullet, great revenge film. And Nicolaj Coster-Waldau also starred in this movie, Shot Collar. It's a prison thriller. Deceptively good movie. One of those impulse buys at Walmart, that you pick up and it's like, oh shit, I was not really expecting much beyond a B movie, but it's actually really, really good. Shot Collar. I'm a film noir guy, so I picked up Marlo with Liam Neeson. Good cast in this one. Jessica Lange. right there. Kind of felt like at least a little bit different. Liam Neeson just makes the same movie over and over now. He has a new one coming out, I think, next month. That's kind of like a retread on Taken meets Speed. It doesn't look bad or anything, but yeah, kind of makes the same movie. Don't really remember this one at all, but I remember it being at least decent. Belly on 4K. I got this at Second and Charles, and fairly cheap for a 4K. The digital was even still valid. It's a DMX movie. I don't know if there's any fans out there of this one, but kind of, and I don't think it's even been out that long on 4K, so I was surprised to find it. So this one, it's a new Nicolas Cage Western called The Old Way. This is kind of notable. Of course, everybody has heard about the Alec Baldwin controversy with the bullet and everything. This is apparently the movie where Nick Cage yelled at the girl that was in charge of the ammunition on set. So I believe this was the one that he kind of had an issue with her too. Haven't checked it out yet, but I heard it's a decent little Western. Jamie is a fan of Belly. Trying to think who else I've met from Twin Peaks. Sherilyn Fenn's super nice. Ray Weiss is always really cool. I met him for the first time at a Gettysburg Con, I believe. And he was a cool guy. Another random pickup at Walmart. It's an action movie with Thomas Jane going to Britain, I think, to take out, I believe, a terrorist or something. I like Thomas Jane, so that was in. John Malkovich, I think, is in it. I assume he's probably playing the heavy. Obviously, everybody knows Cocaine Bear, but I picked that up on Blu-ray. I still think it's a crazy movie. I still feel like I wanted a little more crazy out of it. I don't know. I liked it, though. It's a fun movie. I'm actually, speaking of TV shows, Kerry Russell was in a really good show called The Americans, which is another one I still need to finish. Bog Zombie, my Walmarts barely carry Blu-rays anymore. They kind of come in waves. Like it's my Walmart, which really pisses me off. They do not put out stuff on street anymore. So I don't bother really going out on Tuesdays, but if I'm going out Friday or Saturday, I kind of expect the new stuff to be out. And there's other Walmarts. I'm within, like 6 or 7 probably Walmarts that I could go to, but the close one, I'm just like, I know you got them in the back. I mean, come on, just put them out. So this one's a very generic looking movie from the cover, The Price We Pay, but this is actually a horror movie from Ryohei Kitamura, the director of Versus, Godzilla Final Wars, and nothing else. This one's supposed to be pretty gory. It's a pretty simple story, but yeah, just kind of some criminals that seek refuge in a farmhouse, and I think it's kind of like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre knockoff, but apparently it's better than it looks. So we didn't review that one for some reason. I'm kind of surprised. Ben, when we worked at Best Buy, we'd get in trouble if we didn't put the movies out on release date, especially if it's on the ad. I guess they don't care about that anymore. Yeah. I mean, it's not just my Walmart. I've heard these stories from other people where like they'll put them out when they put them out. It sucks. What is one? Megan was one. like that was supposed to be out. I never saw it there, and it just randomly like popped up. Like somebody put it in the discount bin. I mean, it wasn't discounted or anything, but I it's kind of like they just don't even really, they just don't care at all anymore. Which, I mean, if you're gonna sell it, have it out. I mean, there are people that buy it. I know people buy up the 4Ks because I don't think they get a lot of those in. Um, and sometimes I'll just impulse buy a 4K. I know I can get it off Amazon, but you know, in store, we all still make our impulse buys. This is a sci-fi movie with Thomas Kretschmann, who was just in Infinity Pool, and Kate Bosworth, The Last Sentinel. That looks pretty good. It's from Vertical Entertainment. They've actually had some stuff that's been getting limited theatrical runs lately. I don't know that this one did, but seemed like kind of a cool story. They're on this sort of military outpost on the water, and the world's destroyed. It kind of had a sort of on the beach storyline that sounded kind of cool. So pick that up. Also, honestly, because I was just on a kick, some movies that looked good on 4K 65. I know a lot of people were kind of like on this movie. I thought it was an entertaining B movie. I mean, it's a fun dinosaur movie, and it again looks really good on 4K. What did you think of oh no, you didn't see it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I haven't watched Last Sentinel yet. I need to. I've got a bigger than normal watch pile of movies I haven't gotten to yet. Look like a decent film. Thomas Kretschmann usually doesn't do crap for the most part. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, I don't know. Just, and I can't necessarily blame the employees. You never really know who's responsible for that, but I've at least been told that they have the movies, they just haven't put them out. So, there is an issue there. I think they were annoyed. They didn't say anything, but like a few weeks ago, they had boxes out, but they hadn't put them up. And I did start kind of going through the boxes, and I was kind of getting eyeballed. And it's like, well, you're just leaving them here. I'm going to go through them. I'm sorry. Okay. We got another 4K here. This 4K came out quick because they put it on Blu-ray not that long ago, but I did get Brotherhood of the Wolf on 4K from Scream Factory. It's a great movie. And kind of Christoph Gans did it not too long before he got the Silent Hill gig. If you haven't seen this, great movie. Luckily, I didn't grab the Blu-ray. Oddly enough, I just didn't get to it, and I swear that couldn't have been more than a year or so ago. It's kind of, I'm sure there's a lot of annoyed people on that one. Had to get this on 4K. I mean, it's Creep Show. Which, again, it's Creep Show. It's an all-time classic. The previous Blu-ray that I had was really, really nice, but I was happy to upgrade it. Obviously be sitting down to watch this sometime during Halloween season again. We reviewed this years ago. Russian sci-fi alien movie Sputnik, which I think this was another Second and Charles pickup. I was a little the alien in that. I don't remember. It's a good movie. The alien design I remember not loving, but I also feel like I might have been a little harsh on it because I do remember it being a pretty solid film. So we've been talking SOV horror a lot, and I Australian movie that they made for video, and it is Houseboat Horror. Umbrella put this out on Blu-ray. I'd like to make this a review actually at some point, but there's a ton of extras on this. Has some notable Australian TV stars from the 80s in it. You can look up some clips on YouTube. I think this one would be pretty popular. It's 1989 film, and I just remember it being dumb fun. I think Ben on our Discord, you pointed out the selling point. This horrifying flick contains nudity. It's enough to get me to buy it, so it works. Bog Zombie, I love Creepshow, but I've upgraded that one like 3 times already. So sticking with my Shout Blu-ray for now. Yeah, I don't blame you. There's some stuff I've been doing that on too. I'm open to getting certain things, but I'd like to try and at least get somewhat of a deal on it. Then if I can sell the previous Blu-ray, you know, I can justify it a little bit more. But trying not to pay full price when I don't have to. This was a very popular documentary on sleep paralysis, the nightmare. I think this is actually an MOD that I got at Second and Charles. Popular film. I think it might have been on Shudder at some point. I don't know if it still is. Else do we have another one we reviewed? The Tom Savini doc, Smoke and Mirrors. Pretty solid doc. Obviously, you know, you're cramming a lot into 91 minutes. I know there's some extras though on the actual Blu-ray, so I'm excited to check those out at some point. Yeah, Ben, it is a creepy doc. Let's see. I get a lot of these drive-in line films, and these, I'm making sure. One is a sex comedy, and one is an adult film. It's a double feature. Flossie and Keep It Up, Jack. Right there. These are fun. Dark Force puts this line out. There's some bigger stuff that they do double features on, and some, you know, very obscure comedies, some adult stuff. I don't have everything, but I've been trying to catch up on a lot of those. Let's see here. Oh, here's a big one that I recently got. This is from what's the line? The Scream or Shout Factory website exclusive. I got the 80s sex comedy School Spirit, which I always really enjoyed. If you're a sex comedy fan, it's a fun watch. It's not like an elite level film or anything. It's not a private school or a Hot Dog the movie, but it is a lot of fun, and definitely couldn't be made today. I know a lot of you picked up the Virgin High Blu-ray, which I will be showing some point somewhere here in the stack. If you like that, probably like School Spirit. In fact, I want to say maybe School Spirit I thought was funnier back in the day, but we'll see when I revisit it. I mean, these website exclusives, there's like no extras. That's the only thing. They're a little more pricey, but some of these I don't see ever coming out again either. So that's the trade-off. This is a Romanian, I believe it's Romanian. Yeah, Romanian animated sci-fi film, Delta Space Mission. I got this from the Vinegar Syndrome one of the Vinegar Syndrome sub-labels. I believe it's Deaf Crocodile. Yeah, Deaf Crocodile put this out. Not the biggest like animated guy, but yeah, I like I'm a big heavy metal guy, and I like that era of animated science fiction. Bog Zombie, have you seen Sawbones that Shout is putting out? That came out, I think, in this same wave. Sawbones, I don't remember being very good at all. But, I know a lot of people have nostalgia now for that 90s period. It's fucking weird to think about it, but it hasn't been the 90s in a long time. So I think that was a 95 movie, and it's like, shit. We're like 27, 28 years from that. So but Sawbones isn't great. So unless you're just like a hardcore collector for that stuff, I wouldn't recommend it. It's got a spirited performance from the villain in that, but it's not great. It's kind of a Dr. Giggles knockoff. It is no Dr. Giggles, Bog Zombie. I wouldn't necessarily recommend you spend $30 on it again unless you're like just a hardcore collector like me. I haven't gotten it yet though, to be honest. So that's the kind of shit though that you're really not going to find used. Anybody selling a used copy is usually marking it up on eBay. So if you want it, you might as well get it from them. Here is film from Rick Sloan. That is that always means quality. But this has Ginger Lynn Allen, Mind, Body, and Soul. Wings Hauser was also in this one. It's another Vinegar Syndrome. It's from Culture Shock Releasing, put this one out. And I think this might be one of the ones that's running a little low on copies, but yeah, from Ginger Lynn's mainstream run in the movies, and one I haven't watched in a long time. So yeah, Bog Zombie, I wouldn't do it. Like I said, unless you're just buying everything at this point, and there's better ways to spend your money. Sawbones isn't very good. This is very good, and this is a one of a kind from Juan Piquer Simone of Pieces fame, Slugs, of course. I fucking love Slugs. I'm a big Slugs fan. From Severin, Extraterrestrial Visitors. This is just an insane knockoff of E.T. I would consider this a must for cult movie fans to pick up. That one actually gets a very high recommendation. I think it's a crowd pleaser for most of you probably watching this. And I also grabbed the Antonio Margheriti film Alien from the Abyss, which is another creature feature that I have a lot of fun with. There's somebody on the back that said well, he did say one of Margheriti's best films. I would probably have to disagree with that, but it is a good movie, and it was an instant pickup for me. It's a fun one. I'm trying to remember the extras on this. There is an hour, a 61-minute doc on the films of Antonio Margheriti, which is cool. I mean, he was a legend in many genres. I'm sure Cliff, if he's still watching, is a big fan of that. Speaking of Don the Dragon Wilson, this is one of his best movies. Some would even put it at number one. It's another one of the Shout website exclusives, and it is the 1992 film Black Belt. So Matthias Hughes is the villain in this. Of course, most of you will recognize him as the villain of many action movies in the 80s and 90s. Probably best known for the killer in I Come in Peace with Dolph Lundgren. And this one's pretty wild. I mean, it's a martial arts film, obviously, but it also has like horror overtones. Like Mattias Hughes like is basically Norman Bates on steroids. In a sense, like I remember he's like trying to bang his mom or bang like prostitutes that he starts thinking of as his mom. It's a really entertaining movie. It's more than just a martial arts movie. And if you are getting some of the Shout website exclusives, I can say Black Belt's a lot of fun. Good double feature with Undefeatable with Cynthia Rothrock, which again, if you want that, that's probably not going to last much longer on the Vinegar Syndrome website. If you like cheesy, bad, but fun martial arts movies with kind of a slasher subplot, check it out. But yeah, Black Belt's really good. It's actually better. A lot of people remember Blood Fist, which the first Blood Fist is also available on the Shout Factory website as an exclusive, but Black Belt is better. And it's the Blood Fist movies are weird because they actually get a little bit better as they go along. Like I remember the fourth one being pretty good. Denise Duff, I think, was in that one. And Bog Zombie, I'll talk about that in a minute. What's up? Subjective Perspective Collective in the chat. I saw you on Dana's chat, I think, earlier. I think you were on that, I believe. How are you doing? Mattias Hughes is in Jason Brandt's new project, The Last Kumite. I don't know Jason personally or anything, but I do watch him on Final Guys. And Last Kumite. He does another channel that the name's escaping me at the moment. But he actually watched, I believe, Undefeatable with Cynthia Rothrock. He kind of does this gimmick where he watches some of these action stars' worst movies with them, and it's really funny. He had Mattias on as well, and I can't remember what he watched, but I know Cynthia Rothrock, Mattias Hughes, Billy Blanks, a bunch of others are in The Last Kumite, which I think he just finished in shooting in Germany. So I don't know if that's still being crowdfunded at all or if it's all done now, but we'll definitely cover Last Kumite when it comes out. So Indicator, who've been putting out a lot of great stuff lately, and I have some bigger ones I'll show off here in a bit. I'm getting all of the Jean Rollin films on 4K, and this was the first one they put out. Always got to check his stuff for tits. I don't think animated ass matters, but I'll cover it just in case. But Shiver of the Vampires. I'm really excited. I mean, they've been doing an amazing job on these. I haven't gotten to pop this in yet, but they are putting out Fascination, which some people would say is his best movie with Brigitte Lahaye, and Lips of Blood are both also coming to 4K. I'm pretty much thinking they have like his entire run of films that are going to be hitting 4K. Two Orphan Vampires, one of his later films, is also out right now on 4K. It's not as good as some of his earlier stuff. I think he made that in the 90s. So I haven't grabbed it yet. I'm a completist for Roland, so I probably will grab it. But I didn't get it yet. That one I will cave on though, since all the other stuff is coming out. Yeah, Night of the Hunter. I think they're putting out all that stuff that I have on Blu-ray from Redemption films, but yeah, got that one so far. I know I'm showing off a lot of stuff, but I have a ton coming. I'll probably have another Hatman show at some point soon, because I have stuff coming from Vinegar Syndrome. Some of it's like add-ons, but I've got like a ton of stuff coming from Vinegar Syndrome. I have stuff coming from Cauldron Films. Some of that may not be until August. I think it's pre-ordered stuff, but Cauldron's got some really cool titles that they're releasing. I have some Severin stuff. I know the Black Emmanuel box is shipping. Like I said, we're going to cover that. Not on one show because that thing is so stacked, but I think Todd said we're going to take it a disc at a time. Yeah, you can't go wrong with the Roland Bog Zombie. This was a cheap pickup, probably something that it's going to get a more expensive release at some point, but I'm perfectly content having the cheap Blu-ray of this one in Dreams. I think it was just like a $5 Walmart thing, and I was like, okay, I'll upgrade the DVD. Why not? I know somebody that was in that as an extra, I believe. It might have been featured extra, and I'm hoping it'll jog my memory because it was somebody that I worked with that was actually in Dreams. Yeah, Cold Eyes of Fear is good. I haven't gotten that 4K yet. I have the Blu-ray, but yeah, I plan on getting that too. I'm gonna get all of the Roland stuff, and yeah, I still have some stuff to show off yet. We reviewed this one, Pope's Exorcist. It's kind of a fun B movie. Like, it's goofy, it's kind of dumb, but it was a fun watch. Russell Crowe on a scooter, fucking up demons, or on a moped, whatever you call it. Vespa, I guess is the technical term there. Yeah, subjective. You stream with Goraphobe once in a while, right? I'm actually going to be on his show, I think, a week from today. I have to double check. I think you stream with him sometime, if I remember right. Maybe not. I do see you on Dana's show a lot, though. This was kind of another... I've been having some nostalgia for 90s TV shows lately. Well, specifically like 90s sci-fi, 90s horror stuff, but particularly sci-fi. And they put out the complete series of Sequest DSV from Mill Creek. Sometimes it's a little more expensive. Sometimes it's really, it's on sale and cheap. So I managed to catch it while it was on sale. It's not a perfect show. In fact, Roy Scheider fucking hated this show. So he was replaced by Michael Ironside in the last season, but this had a pretty interesting cast. Jonathan Brandis, who of course sadly had passed, but he was the kid in Sidekicks, teen heartthrob around that time. Ted Raimi was also in this. Like I said, it's not a perfect show. I think the recent thing with Titan, the Titan sub tragedy, one of the people that was doing the news rounds for that, talking about that, I'm pretty sure at the end of some of these episodes would do like a PSA on ocean conservation, like at the end of the show. It was a very 90s thing. So kind of a nostalgia pickup. There's some cool guests. I think Charlton Heston was on an episode, if I remember right. So I'm a sucker. This movie's not perfect. It's another one from the last year that I was hoping for a lot more than I got. But I'm a sucker for horror movies that take place in a convent. And I got to see this in theaters. It didn't have a very wide release, but Consecration. It starts off really good, and then it kind of settles into some some goofiness, but I still think there's a lot of atmosphere, and I like it. It's a flawed movie, but nonetheless, I do enjoy it. Jamie, have you streamed with Goraphobe? I know he streams all the time, and I've chatted with them before, and but I have not streamed with him yet. I don't know if I'm supposed to announce what we're talking about or not yet. I don't know if he has, but should be a fun show. And I am an Italian Polizia fan, and you get some more Fabio Testi. I don't know why it took me so long to pick this up. It's just one of those ones I just didn't grab it right away. And I'm a huge fan of Enzo Castellari, and I got the Rogue Cops and Racketeers set. I was kind of doing stock in my library, and I was like, son of a bitch, I don't have this yet. I better grab it because, yeah, Big Racket and Heroin Busters are both fucking awesome movies. And yeah, I just hadn't picked it up yet. I had the previous releases, but yeah, I was like, good night, zombie. Thanks for staying up tonight. It's nice to see some of you that are on the late night streams. I don't think it'll ever go back to that Hayden era where we were like, there was one, I think it was like 8 a.m. and we had streamed like all through the evening and night, and like the sun was coming up, like half the people had fallen asleep. There was a lot of crazy late night shows on during lockdown. This was free through MakeFlix. They threw it in as part of a gimmick, but Shocking Shorts. Really cool cover art on this, and it's signed by J.R. Bookwalter, but it's like his really early short films. It's pretty cool. They threw it in. I'll have some box sets from MakeFlix that I'll show off here in just a bit. Working through some of these a little bit faster now, but also picked up from them, I believe, yeah, definitely SOB. I picked up the Zombie Army, which I remember this one being a little bit ambitious for an SOB movie, from what I recall. Violent Professionals is the shit. That is a really good movie. Honestly, most of that genre, which I'm a big fan of, even though I can never properly say Polizia, but Italian cops and robbers. You can't go wrong. Most of them tend to be really, really good. I showed off Lucio Fulci's Contraband earlier, which is an amazing film that a lot of people sleep on. Also from MakeFlix, and this is signed by, I believe, the director and the stars, the Killer Nerd duology, which Troma put out these two movies back in the day. Really goofy B-movie stuff. I know Todd's a fan, but I know he also didn't get rid of his Troma DVD. Now this was an immediate pickup. Another one of the Shout Factory web exclusives, and it's a double feature of Crime Zone and the Don the Dragon Wilson sci-fi kickboxing movie, Future Kick. Now, Crime Zone's a David Carradine film, but the cover art for these were kind of staples in the video store back in the day, particularly Future Kick. I remember being really stoked for that one. Meg Foster's in it. And I just have a lot of nostalgia. They're B movies, but they're fun B movies. And once again, like, they are not even bothering with, although there is an alternate cut of I'm assuming Crime Zone on this, but these web exclusives are really not doing extras at all. But nonetheless, I have a lot of nostalgia for this, so I grabbed it. Yeah, those movies are. I feel bad calling you subjective all the time. I know your name from Dana's stream, but it takes me a while to get names down. But yeah, you're it's a safe bet with most of those movies. I'm a big spaghetti western fan, and I tend to like most spaghetti westerns, but I wouldn't say, oh, nice to talk to you, Dirk. Yeah, but I wouldn't say all spaghetti westerns are great because they're not. But the Italian crime flicks, there's not a lot of duds. I feel it's interesting because in my head right now, I'm sure if I go scan through my shelves in that section, I could probably point out some that weren't as good, but they're usually safe bets if you want to dive into that. So kind of a random theme with this update, but I got this from Dark Force, The Banker with Robert Forster. This is another action movie that kind of has a slasher villain, who the villain's played by Duncan Rager from Monster Squad. And I remember this actually kind of being a fun movie. I rented it years ago, kind of another like sort of generic looking thing, so I don't think it ever really caught on, but not bad for a double bill night with some of the other movies I mentioned, like Undefeatable with Cynthia Rothrock, which once again, if you want that, grab it soon because that's not going to last much longer. So we're going to cover this one at some point when we have Chris McGibbon back on, because I know he knows a lot about it, a lot about the making of it. And it took a long time to get this on Blu-ray. It was a very shitty DVD, but Massacre Video put out Toxic Zombies, which I won't say a whole lot about this because I know he knows a lot about the production and everything. So we might have a deep dive on this at some point. I've heard rumors that Massacre Video is no more. They put out, I showed it, I think, on the last update video, Mahakal, which was Bollywood Nightmare on Elm Street. It's a really fun movie. And I got that as well. And I don't know. I don't know if that's been confirmed, but I hear Massacre Video might not be a thing anymore. Yeah, it's not great, but Toxic Zombies is fun. It's a fun, bad movie. Like I said, I'm hoping we get Chris on soon because he knows a lot about it. Also from Dark Force, not the best of the rock and roll horror films, but nonetheless, I grabbed it. Hard Rock Nightmare. Another one I haven't really watched in years, and who knows, I might end up really enjoying it on rewatch. That happens with certain slasher movies. Sometimes the ones you kind of liked, you watch again, and it's like, man, that doesn't hold up. And sometimes the goofy ones are a lot better than you thought. Twisted Nightmare is one I'm a big fan of. I haven't even opened this yet, but it's probably a good one to double up with Toxic Zombies, honestly. Yeah, Ben, Mahakal is amazing. I love that movie. So I've got to confess with this one, this was a Amazon one that I meant to cancel and I forgot, and it shipped out. And I don't mind because I don't remember a lot about this movie. I remember liking it, but got the Christopher Walken film McBain from Synapse. I remember liking this movie. Haven't watched it since the video store days, so it's been a while. I know it's got a good cast, like Michael Ironside's in it. Maria Conchita Alonso is also in it. I thought Eric Roberts might have been in it too. I could be wrong on that one, but here's another Don the Dragon Wilson movie that Todd already showed off, Red Sun Rising, which everybody knows I'm a big Deep Space Nine guy, so Terry Farrell's the girl in this one. So I was happy to pick it up. I know people complain, but there's only so many Don the Dragon Wilson movies, so I'm sure they'll blow through them soon. But a lot of them are a lot of fun. Let's check, see if I've missed anything in the chat. Yeah, I still have to get that Bollywood box. I keep putting it off, and I don't know if there's going to be an Amazon release of that. There usually is with all that Mondo stuff, and I don't need to have the big red case. So, I mean, I do have some of those, and for some reason they are super expensive on eBay. But sometimes it's just the red case, so it's like I can wait and get it a little bit cheaper on Amazon. Brian, Revenge of the Cheerleaders is great. I mean, the Cheerleaders too. Now the question is, do I upgrade that for the Shout release when I already have the others? Because that is a web exclusive too, I believe, right? That I'm not so sure, but I do like that movie. I like all those cheerleader movies from the 70s and 80s. The Cheerleaders is really good. So I don't know. My OCD might make me grab that, but I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon either. So we'll see. I need to see some reviews on that. Good night, Jamie. Thanks for staying up with us. Also kind of the weird theme tonight. This is another Vinegar Syndrome. Sworn to Justice with Cynthia Rothrock. In this one, of course, it's a martial arts movie, but it's another one that kind of had if memory serves, it's like a sort of like a Carrie type psychic villain. I know Brad Dourif is in this, Mako, Kurt McKinney, Walter Koenig's in this, who apparently was like a real fucking dick to work with on this movie. Yeah, she did some unusual stuff. Like I said, her Hong Kong stuff's primo, like awesome shit. But I found most of her American movies she did later a lot of fun too. So yeah, was definitely picking this up. She still looks amazing, by the way. If you've seen her on Jason Brandt's channel, which his channel I believe is just Jason Brandt, his name. And of course he does Final Guys with Hunter Shea, the author, who I'm a big fan of. If you like cryptid monster themed stories, that's kind of what he's known for, and I do highly recommend his writing. This is a great film. I haven't watched the Blu-ray yet, but I have seen the movie, and it's Yellow Veil Pictures, another Vinegar Syndrome sublabel, put it out, and it's kind of a time travel story, kind of horror sci-fi, but it's called The Long Walk. This movie is amazing. I don't want to give too much away. It's one of those ones that, you know, it's been up on there. Like, nobody talks about this movie at all, and it's kind of sad because and I believe it's a Vietnamese film. I'm trying to see here, but I watched this like a year ago, I think, and I was kind of blown away. Really, really good stuff. I do highly recommend The Long Walk. A little heavier, you know, but one of those better movies that doesn't seem to get any love, even though it's a Vinegar Syndrome sublabel. Deserves a little more attention. So if you watch that one and like it, probably be a cool one to do a video on. Also, this one's a little bit more schlocky. This is actually the Vietnamese film, so I apologize. That Long Walk might have been Thai. I can't remember now, but irregardless, you should check it out. Actually, you know what? I think it was from Laos. I'll have to double check, but Long Walk I highly recommend. This is kind of a schlocky gore film. Also, it's KFC, and it is the KFC. Not worried about getting sued, I suppose. And this is a Vietnamese cannibal flick. There you go. Trying to focus on it the best I can there. Nothing much needs to be said about this, but Black Christmas, I got the 4K. Didn't watch this one last year. There's just a lot coming out, and I didn't get the 4K, so I'll be busting this one open to watch it again during Halloween. Because I mean, it's Black Christmas. It's an essential classic. Gothic Fantastico. Years of Lead is a great set. Are you talking the Danza Macabre set? Because I do have that I'll show off here somewhere. Lao. Thanks, Ben. Laos, yeah. Laotian. Yeah, it's a Laotian film. It's really, really, really good. I highly recommend it if you want a heavier watch. Fun B movie. I was talking about this with Jonathan of Bombastic Reviews. Unwelcome. This kind of almost feels like a 90s B movie. I mean, it's very well made, and there's some bigger names. It's an Irish film. Colm Meaney's in it also from Deep Space Nine, and the actress Hannah John Kamen, who was Jill Valentine in the new Resident Evil movie, and she was also on a Sci-Fi Channel sci-fi bounty hunter movie called Killjoys. She's the main lead in this. It's just it's kind of a leprechaun. I think they call them goblins, but it's got a real kind of old school 90s vibe to it. It's a fun movie. I think it's on Shudder right now, though, if you want to check it out. Yeah, they do, and it doesn't feel like a modern one. Dirk, I think I do have that set. You have to remind me what movies are on it, though. I'm a sucker for box sets. Like, I think I have all of the Severin stuff at this point. Once Black Emmanuel comes in. I do highly recommend the Danza Macabre set, though, which I'll talk about when I get to it. This is TerraVision. Yeah, TerraVision. End of the line. This is another guy that we interviewed. Well, not Todd and I. This would have been probably either Chris and I or maybe Brian Harris and I, but Maurice Devereaux. This is a Canadian cannibal flick. Really good. Another one that kind of slipped through the radars back in the day, and it kind of built up a reputation on DVD over the years. And yeah, it's a 2007 film. Yeah, really well made. Maurice also did, there were Fangoria titles, and he did Lady of the Lake, which I remember was a labor of love. It took him years to make that one, but he also did Slashers, which is probably the one he's most known for, which I know got a re-release on DVD. That's one I could easily see TerraVision putting out on DVD. I know it gets requested in groups a lot of the time. Also got VHS 99. Watched this in the hotel at Scarefest with Christian Hanahar was there. Nick was there. Jess was there. Jay was there. Lauren was there. Watched this with a lot of the guys at Scarefest. You can go back and see our review of that one. This is, let's see here. Checking the chat. This one I haven't watched yet. It just came out. It's actually a Filipino zombie movie called Day Zero. I've heard some good things about it. It actually looks kind of an action-oriented zombie shoot-'em-up flick. I know Welgo put this. This was another one. It was like a week where I got really busy and forgot I ordered it on Amazon, but I've been doing that too much lately. I usually am pretty good about keeping a paper because I'll pre-order everything, then I'll cancel stuff when it's not in the budget. But I just totally forgot that week, and that came in. So I got, of course, a classic martial arts film, The 8-Diagram Pole Fighter, Gordon Liu. I would consider that one a essential pickup for you martial arts fans out there. That one's pretty well known, so I won't waste too much time talking about it. Also from AGFA, I picked up the Shakorama Video Party because, as you guys know, I'm a big fan of retro exploitation, sexploitation, and there's some rare movies on this one. It's actually 4 films. The Naked Witch, Violated, Ghosts of Hanley House, and Passion in the Sun. Kind of a good mix of old exploitation from the 60s and Violated's back from 1953. That was a William Mishkin flick, I believe. Probably not one I'd recommend unless you're really a fan of that early exploitation stuff, which, speaking of which, I have all of the Doris Wishman sets as of this point, and this is the Daylight Years set. AGFA has been more or less putting out her entire filmography. Vinegar Syndrome has her hardcore titles. But Doris Wishman is amazing. There is she was on Conan O'Brien, I believe. It's a really funny interview you can check out on YouTube. But yeah, she was a female exploitation director of that era. Was pretty rare. Of course, Roberta Findlay came along a little bit after. She and her husband Michael Findlay. I run a group on Facebook actually for Roberta Findlay in particular, but that was pretty unusual. There weren't a lot of female exploitation directors at that time. Another classic from Paul Bartel, picked up Private Parts on Blu-ray from Scream Factory. Another one I feel like more people should be talking about. I mean, I'm all for the 4Ks. Like I said, I'm upgrading a lot of them, but not everything. But like sometimes they'll get stuff like this that they haven't put out yet, and I feel like they deserve a little more attention over another release of The Burning, which, don't get me wrong, I fucking love The Burning. It's a great slasher film, but sometimes, I don't know, the focus isn't where it should be. So this was $10 because I know it's going out of print. And I had the SRS release, and I know it's not going to look any different, but it is Tim Ritter, who did some of the best SOV stuff from the 80s, Killing Spree. Probably wouldn't have upgraded it, honestly, if it wasn't $10, but I figured, why not? I was able to sell the other one for more than $10 anyways. So yeah, if you're into the SOB stuff, Tim Ritter, Killing Spree, True for Dare, the True for Dare series, Creep, those are some titles you should definitely check out if you're diving into that. Yeah, Dirk, I've heard some mixed things about The Burning 4K, but I also realize a lot of people are just like, because it's not supposed to look like a new movie. So sometimes you can't trust some of the reviews of these things. It's supposed to have the film grain and everything. Brian Trash loves Doris Wishman. Had the pleasure of meeting her a few times. That is awesome. I just missed her multiple times never got to meet Doris Wishman. At least I don't think. I started going to conventions in like 94, so I might have crossed paths with her, but she may not have been really on my radar at that particular point. Ben has 3 copies of Killing Spree. Well, there you go. Yeah. You shouldn't need to keep all 3 unless you're keeping them for particular purpose. So I did get, if you go to a lot of conventions, you probably ran into Beelzebub. Even when I was promoting some of the movies that I did, I would always run into Beelzebub at like everything. That dude still makes the rounds at conventions. And I'm trying to remember which movies this had on it. But it is and I always got to be careful with tits on him, but the Campy Horror collection. This has Ass Monster, the director's cut, Ant Farm Dickhole, Indie Director, and Exploitation. He's a very he'll do a lot of like political satire in some of his films, even though they're kind of trauma-esque. Tons of nudity, a lot of BDSM themes in his movies. In fact, he pisses a lot of people off with some of his titles. You can Jesus Christ is a character in one movie. I won't say the title. That might get me in trouble here on YouTube, but Santa Claus, and yeah, he does some unique stuff, but he makes films his way. He's been making indie films for a long fucking time. And he makes movies his way. I respect the guy. But a lot of nudity, so there's that. Yeah, Dick Nato. Yeah, he is like at everything. I think that dude's at a convention every weekend. Really nice guy too. Like fun to talk to. More classic kung fu. I got the Warriors 2 from Arrow. This was just like a cheap pickup. Seeing Danny Trejo in a movie, I love Danny Trejo, but it really means nothing. He's usually in it for like 2 minutes, but Vamp Father doesn't look particularly cheap. The late Tom Sizemore is in it. I probably this might sit on the shelf a little while, if I'm being honest, but yeah, I think that might have been a Dollar Tree pickup. Yeah, with Beelzebub, I want to say, I say better, but Night of the Pumpkin, I think wasn't too bad. If nothing else, there's a ton of nudity. Aaron Brown, aka Misty Mundy, does a lot of stuff with him now. So Aaron was actually just in my friend Victor Bonacor's movie Thrust, which is also a Vinegar Syndrome partner label film. Victor's very talented. He works with Linnea Quigley a lot, and I know we just reviewed that a while back. Aaron's in that one. Another Mill Creek Blu-ray. This is the unrated version of In the Cut. This was an erotic thriller with Meg Ryan and Mark Ruffalo and Nick D'Amici from Stakelands, actually, in this one, too. If you want to see Meg Ryan naked, there you go. That's basically the pitch for In the Cut. Also grabbed the Joe Spinell film Walking the Edge, which I think was also, it might have sold out by now, but I think it's going out of print on the Vinegar Syndrome site. Pardon me while I drink a little water. All right. Also, Grab the Amityville Curse. Not a great movie, but paying for. What can I say? Paying for has gotten me in a lot of trouble lately. But this does have Kim Coates, so maybe it's a little better than I remember. Renfield, you all know this one, and we reviewed it. Grab that at Walmart. This is another one. Like, they did not put it out, at least my Walmart, for like, I swear, like 2 weeks. And then I finally saw they put it on the damn shelf, and I was like, I grabbed it. But yeah. Yeah, it's a fun little movie. It's pretty much, it delivers exactly what you see in the trailer. I wish it did a little bit better, but it's a little bit higher budget than I feel like it needed to be for Nick Cage at this point. I think there's a lot of interest in his movies, but I think they spent a little bit too much on that one to make a profit. We did review these, but I got the now sold out, I believe, Virgin High, Hot Under the Collar double feature. The latter of which features the beautiful Melinda Clarke just right before she did Return of the Living Dead 3, I believe a year or two later. Yeah, Brian, paying for sucks. I mean, that's the problem. Then it's like, oh shit, this is kind of defeating the purpose when I do it like 6 or 7 times, and then I'm just getting hit with bills left and right. But it does help, like with some of these box sets, particularly the Black Emmanuel set, which is not cheap at all. It is kind of a godsend for that stuff. I'm trying not to abuse it though, with some other stuff, because I've got the LA trip coming up, heading out to XPW next month, so gotta watch that paying for. Grabbed Clerks 3. I know there's a 4K of this, but I found it used, and I didn't really need this on 4K. It's a great movie, though. I mean, what a tearjerker. And I was expecting this to be shit. I'll be honest. A lot of the newer Kevin Smith stuff hasn't done it for me, but it hits you in the feels. It really does. Also, didn't have this on Blu-ray, but used Criterion, Second and Charles, Rushmore. Grab that on Blu-ray. Last Voyage of the Demeter, Dirk. I have high hopes for it. It's weird because like Dracula stuff, it doesn't seem to hit anymore. Like, I'm hoping it does well enough, because I feel like a lot of the classic monsters at this point, I feel like they're kind of, yeah. I mean, I know Dracula Untold tanked. I do feel like they need to stop turning some of these things into action movies, but yeah, I have high hopes. The cast is really good. I've got some possible reservations about maybe some of the CG, but I'm definitely going to go check it out. I liked, well, I won't spoil it. We're reviewing Cobweb on Wednesday's show, so I will say it is better than the new Insidious movie, so I'll give you that much. Also, I didn't get the box version of this, which I don't need the box version of this at all, but it's the volume 1 of the Primetime Panic TV movies, and there's some good movies on here. Dreams Don't Die, Death Ride to Osaka, Freedom. I kind of like this concept. I'll definitely get the volume 2, but I didn't need the special edition. I was looking at it and I was like, I don't need another box for that. I do want the movies though. We're rolling along here, and I'll have got a handful of more Blu-rays, then I have the box sets, then I have some DVDs that I'll roll through really quick, but getting to the end. I got this from Kino. Always liked this movie. Clay Pigeons, Janine Garofalo, Joaquin Phoenix, Vince Vaughn. Got it on Blu-ray. It's been on Blu-ray for a little bit, and it's not an expensive Blu-ray, so I finally picked it up. Clay Pigeons is a lot of fun. I don't know if it's on sale night right now with the Kino sale. I know that goes till August, so I might get a couple things after the first. I just couldn't spend more money this month. Couple of these Make Flicks Blu-rays that I didn't have, double feature, King of the Zombies and the Monster Maker. I think I'm all caught up on Make Flick stuff at this point. They put out a lot of classic, well, some might not say classic, but some of the Poverty Row quickies that Bela Lugosi did. I also got the Ape Man, Doomed to Die, monstrous double feature. I worked with Conrad Brooks, so he always had a lot of great Bela Lugosi stories. Conrad was kind of a handful, but he did have a lot of really good stories. I think I sort of told that story, that period of my life on. I might have done a Patreon show on that, but that was interesting because I just kind of accidentally fell into movies, and then there was that other mess that I found myself in. That I don't know. I feel like that's actually one of our only lost episodes where I did a commentary on some of that. Ghoulish Tales, I think, is still up on Patreon, but I'll have to double check. Ben, was it? Let me check the year. Because oh wait, yeah, I assume you mean Rushmore, right, Ben? Not Clay Pigeons. Clay Pigeons isn't a Wes Anderson movie. Rushmore, though, I believe was the first. I could be wrong, though. Oh yeah, U-Turn's really good, Dirk. Vince, yeah, Vince Vaughn is really good in Clay Pigeons, but he's also great in Brawl and Cell Block 99 as well. I'd probably give it to Clay Pigeons, but I think in Brawl he really proved, like, Vince Vaughn is a big dude. He can be a scary son of a bitch. It's just you don't think of him that way. I never liked him in the Psycho remake, which, it's kind of a pointless movie, but when I rewatched that, I was like, man, I've got to say, like, those are big shoes, but I didn't feel like he was good in that movie. Also, let's see. Assassin's Bullet, another random pickup at Second and Charles. Let's see. I don't know a whole lot about this movie. It's about like an Elvis and Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers impersonator. I got this during a Target buy two get one free, and there was like nothing else I didn't have, and it sounded interesting enough. Can't remember if it's more of a comedy or more of a crime film, but Bobby Cannavale's in it. He's really good. Rose Byrne's in it. So I don't know a whole lot about that one. Yeah, no, that's an S. Craig Zoller's a good writer too. I need to set some of these down so I can still see the chat. All right, so I have some DVDs which I'll zip through at the end, but now I've got some box sets to show you guys. Just checking for tits, which there aren't really visible tits, but got the Skullface Astronaut box set. I don't know a lot about these movies. I think some of them were kind of seemed Lovecraftian. These boxes are really cool. I still need a few, but the Dustin Ferguson stuff, I mean, he's just a terrible fucking director. So I've hesitated to pick up, and there's stuff going on the whole box set. So Some people don't like these boxes. They think they're kind of cheap, but I don't know. I like the artwork. So I grabbed that. The other Make Flicks box set that's been out a while, but I finally got the Camp Blood collection. I can't say any of these movies are particularly good, but what can I say? I'm stupid, I guess. I don't know. But I thought they were cool. There's a couple in there that are entertaining. Once again, that's pretty much it on this one. Just kind of the logo there on the side, but really, really cool artwork. Let's see. Brian Trash. I hung out with Conrad Brooks. Wait, sorry, I lost your comment here. He came by my neighborhood and we drank at a punk bar in New York City. What year was that? He is a character. He was having a lot of he still lived for a while after I worked with him, but yeah, I have a lot of Conrad Brooks stories though. It was basically over like a summer, a little bit longer, that we were working together, and that's a whole. I'll tell that story though sometime. It pretty wild stuff how I met him and got roped into being in a movie, and if you want to call it that. Let's see. All right. So I think my friend Lauren Dixon and myself are like the only fucking people that bought this set. I don't see YouTube reviews on it or anything, but I picked up the Indicator Blu-ray set from Hollywood to Heaven, the lost and saved films of the Ormond family. And the short story on this is they were regional exploitation directors that they were in a plane crash. They nearly died. They found religion, and then they started doing these insane movies for, I believe, a Baptist preacher. And this is one of those sets that I feel like, again, I don't think anybody's actually gonna pick it up, but there's a mini doc on YouTube, The Burning Hell. Really wild stuff. There's let's see how many movies are, because I haven't even watched them all, but 6. I think there's 13 movies and a ton of extras, ton of shorts on this. Burning Hell is one of the more If Footmen Tire, What Will Horses Do? Lawrence talked about that on his channel, Visited by Voices 1. Speaking of which, since I saw some new faces, Region Free Season 3. If you haven't joined that channel, we do panel shows. Be sure to comment, because we read your comments in the mail section on the next show. Check that out. Vinegar and DJ. But yeah, did anybody else buy this but me and Lauren? It's weird stuff. Baptist Grindhouse is not exactly a selling point to a lot of people, but these are crazy movies. And like I said, they're religious movies, but they're fucked up. Oh yes, definitely, Dirk. What else do we have here? Oh, I kind of lied. I do have a couple more movies that got into the box set. This is a weird little film, but I like it. Norway. It's another one that was going out of print on Vinegar Syndrome, and it might be now. It's a vampire film, but very quirky vampire film. And this is a Tunisian horror movie that I also recommend if you like obscure films. It's a newer movie, but it's called Dakra. Another one. I can't remember if this was one of those $10 Vinegar Syndrome deals. I feel like it might have been. Let's see. No, we are on Discord though, Dirk. If you look in our Flesh Wound Features is on Discord. If you look in the information on this video, you can find our Discord. Our Discord's very active. You'll never miss a sale or a new movie on our Discord. Ben, what percentage of your collection have you not watched yet? So, Jay, I've seen a lot. I will say there's more that I haven't opened than I used to. But as far as stuff I haven't seen, that's a smaller list. But that doesn't mean I've seen the new edition of it. There's a lot of plastic on some of the stuff I've still bought for this update. There's always, I couldn't give you a percentage, but there's always stuff that I have that I haven't watched yet, like most people. The stuff that I haven't seen at all is usually not horror related, though. I always have a backlog of random dramas, for sure. Oh, there you go. Ghost got that too. Yeah, From Hollywood to Heaven. There you go. There's at least one more person. It's like 6,000 copies, so it'll probably be around for a long time. Let's see. Directed Christmas Blood. I want to say yes. Winter Siege. I'm not sure. I'd have to look into that. I mean, there's always stuff. I haven't seen everything. Yeah, it's impossible to watch everything new, especially in the more micro budget realm, which was some of the stuff I did. But if you want to see me, Ghoulish Tales, I think Sleazebox put that out. I worked with some like real fucking assholes on that, so I guess I do have an IMDb for some of the Blu-ray stuff that I'm working on. But that's just special thanks kind of shit. I want to feel like, so I kind of got erased from IMDb, but if you want to see me act, if you want to call it that, Ghoulish Tales, I play multiple roles. I'm a perverted Santa Claus. I am a racist night watchman in that. I'm kind of doing the Karen Black theme for Trilogy of Terror. I'm a lot of things. I'm a gay homeless roadie that likes to like masturbate in cemeteries. Classy shit, but yeah, I play a lot of shit in Ghoulish Tales. And MILFs versus Zombies is a whole other story. But I wrote that, what that sort of became. The director, Brad Twigg, is an idiot, and that wasn't what it could have been. I actually think Ghoulish Tales, even though it's a little more rough around the edges in terms of any kind of effects or anything, these are all stupid movies. I still feel like I need to make like one really good one at some point myself. But I feel like I've got to do everything now after my previous experiences. So that's why I haven't done anything new as of yet. But yeah. Yeah, Ghoulish Tales, again, if you just want to see me doing stupid, ridiculous shit. Mitch Bauer, yes, Todd, that is the racist night watchman. I think the George Zimmerman stuff had just happened. I think. At least that's my memory of it. But yeah, there were a lot of problems on that movie too, but I still think there's like a stupid, goofy charm to it. So I don't think the effect didn't turn out as great, but I think I get my guts torn out of my asshole in that movie. So there's that. And I am also the killer, I think, in a couple shots as well. That's really, yeah. If you're on Patreon, I know that commentary is still up. But anyways, side story. I also grabbed The Lamp. Well, upside down. The Lamp from Vinegar Syndrome. This one's been out a while. Just one I didn't grab right away. The slasher film Evil Laugh, which I need to revisit. There you go. Bog Zombie, I want to say Ghoulish Tales is still available from Sleazebox. I think they distributed that. I still have copies, but not like the Sleazebox version. Ironically, MILFs versus Zombies came out on MakeFlix, but you don't really see. That's where all the problems started. They really fucked that one up. That could have been so much fun. There's a lot of tits in it, and I don't think you really see me, but although if that's maybe the uncut version you do, in MILFs versus Zombies, you at least originally, I have some set footage from that's pretty wild, but I get beaten to death by Ilsa and Inga, some Russian lesbians. They beat me to death with a dildo, a double dong dildo, which is a historical dildo because this dildo was also used in the death match between BC Killer and Fern Owens. I think he puts like thumbtacks or toothpicks on it, and he whips Fern. I think he shoves the dildo in his mouth, which definitely wasn't sanitary. So yeah, that dildo has been used in death matches. I believe it is the property of Tanky's Twisted Tool Shed. So I don't know. You could see that dildo in XPW if it still exists. And I know Tanky builds a lot of weapons, so. Yes, Todd, we need to get on that. If he still has that dildo's got it. I've been beaten with it. Fern Owens has been beaten with it. That dildo must show up in XPW, probably for a body match for the body. That would be where it makes the most sense. I don't remember if somebody else took it, but the horse gimp mask from MILFs versus Zombies, I might still have that somewhere. Actually, no, I think the actor has that, but yeah. Anyways, also box set from Vinegar Syndrome, Homegrown Horrors Volume 2. Really enjoyed this line. This had Hanging Heart, Moonstalker, and Dead Girls on it. So grab that. I also, of course, because I'm a Giallo guy, got the, sorry, I'm just again checking for tits, the Forgotten Jolly Volume 5 set, which has a white dress for Marial, Tropic of Cancer, and 9 guests for a crime. They've been putting out some solo Giallos that I know I have coming in the next order, but I have been really enjoying this line as well. Hopefully we'll get a volume 6. Let's see. This is an unusual movie. I know Sam for Region Free was a huge fan of it. I think Piz liked this too. But We're All Going to the World's Fair. Not for everybody. Very strange film, but it's another one of the cheap ones that I grabbed. See, another mainstream Ginger Lynn Allen movie with Donald Pleasance as well. Buried Alive. Got that. Nearing the end. A TV movie that I'm from the 70s that I'm actually quite fond of. Moon of the Wolf. Good werewolf movie. I think this is definitely going to be on my Halloween watch list. It used to be on a bunch of budget sets from what I recall. But Jeffrey Lewis, I remember, was in this. And Yeah. Pretty sure Jeffrey Lewis was in this one. But yeah, no, this was like from 1972. It was a TV movie, and I like it quite a bit. Yeah, 9 guests for crime. Absolutely. Yeah, I didn't grab Moon of the Wolf right away, but I was like, oh man, I really like that one back in the day. It's a good TV movie. Oh, and this I referenced before, Danza Macabra Volume 1. Should like, I know it's been out a while, but I'd still like to review it. This has Monster of the Opera, The Seventh Grave, Scream of the Demon Lover, and Lady Frankenstein, which I love. Lady Frankenstein, that kind of made the box set for me. I still need to dive into this, but sorry, trying to get it to not be blurry there. But more, please, of this. More Italian Gothic on Blu-ray. All right, we're almost there, guys. Another indicator release. I love Mexican horror movies, and there's been a lot of Mexican horror. And this has some of the essentials: Witch's Mirror, Black Pit of Dr. M, Brainiac, and Curse of the Crying Woman. And that this is also an indicator release. Mexico Macabra. Yeah, this is not that expensive. I mean, for 4 movies and a shit ton of extras, this tends to run at around $50. It's nice set. Like I said, there's Indicator's been killing it with this because there's a ton of new stuff, and I tend to enjoy. I mean, obviously, a lot of people are no longer with us from this movie, but I really like this Film Scholar extras, anyways. That's what I tend to enjoy the most. So, yeah, this great set. If you want to check out some classic Mexican horror, pick that up. This is another one. I'm a big spaghetti Western guy, but I did not get this right away. I ordered this off MVD, or I don't remember. But I did finally get the Vengeance Trails set. I've been waiting a little while, and I was like, fuck, they've got that Blood Money set coming out, so I need to get this before I pick up Blood Money. This has Massacre Time, My Name is Pecos, Bandidos, and God Said to Cain. Massacre Time is another Lucio Fulci movie that I highly recommend. And this is all. I like all the movies on this set, honestly. And the one that is sold out. I'm not going to show it off again or pull it all out again, but Enter the Video Store from Arrow Video. Impressive how fast really this sold out. I don't know if it's still available from anybody currently in shipping, but definitely a now or never at this point for that. I have a feeling it's probably all cleared out from Diabolic, but I'm not sure. All right, rapid fire DVDs, because a lot of these I've either talked about or they're just cheap impulse buy pickups. But got the Shudder original Downrange. I shouldn't say they're not good. I mean, some of these are really good. It's just, yeah. Lucky, which I don't remember loving this. This was like that mystery movie they debuted like a couple years ago, but I mean, it was like $1, so whatever. Got the Rose McGowan horror movie, The Sound. A great cast. Michael Eklund's also a really cool dude. I've met him. He was the villain. The Divide. I don't know if anybody's a fan of The Divide, but that is a really awesome post-nuke movie with Michael Biehn, Rosanna Arquette, Well, Michael Eklund, of course, Milo Ventimiglia, who's actually can play a really good villain. Big fan of The Divide, and Michael Eklund is a great heavy. He was also in The Day, which was a WWE Studios movie that was really good. I think, Ashley Bell, the girl from Last Exorcism is in that. That's kind of another post-apocalyptic sort of cannibal action movie. All right, those Pledges, which is a slasher film. That was an Echo Bridge release, so you can probably find this super cheap. We did review this one. This is if you like Lin Shaye, Room for Rent. It's a low budget movie. I'm sure it's on Tubi, but she's really good in this one. I got that. Fear the Invisible Man, which, I mean, it's an Invisible Man movie. I'm sure it's probably pretty shitty, but this one was actually just a Walmart impulse buy. Island of the Dolls, because if there's dolls in it, it's got to be decent. Unfortunately not, but this is from Scott Jeffrey, one of the producers on Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. The Offering, which is a Jewish themed horror movie, which has kind of been popular lately. It's a good movie. And we reviewed this, High Fear, the third anthology horror movie, and that started with High 8, and then High Def, and then this. We did a recent review of that, and all right, last stack of DVDs. One of my favorite movies of last year, Moloch. You can check out our review of that. Unfortunately, this didn't get a Blu-ray release in the States. That sucks because this movie is a fucking classic. Everybody should see it. Shudder, another Shudder original. One that I don't know why we missed, because we did not review this. Now, it's XYZ Films that is a partner label for Vinegar Syndrome now. But Frank Grillo, The Resurrection of Charles Manson. We didn't review this for some reason when it first hit VOD, but it looks pretty good. Let's see, working through. Flesh City, very weird movie that we reviewed this actually with High Def. Another Shudder, One Spoonful of Sugar, which I liked, and I think some of the other Flesh Fiend guys might have been a little cold on, but I did enjoy it. From Makeflix, the lovely softcore goddess Beverly Lynn, Tanya X, season 1, I think the only season. One of my favorites of Monique Parent is also in this. Probably one of the more beautiful women as far as that era of softcore goes. And she can act too, but Monique Parent was just gorgeous. Grab this Dark Room complete. Lauren talks about this a lot, but Dark Room, the complete series, really awesome show. That should have gone on longer. James Coburn was the host of that. And I've almost done, and I'll check the chat one last time. Hated this, but Cocaine Shark. I don't like most of the modern Mark Polonia stuff. Yeah. Let's see. Jurassic Shark 3, Seavenge. We will be covering that Sharksploitation doc and doing a general discussion on our favorite Sharksploitation soon. Western, Bullets for the Bad. Good old Asylum, Mockbuster, Top Gunner, Danger Zone with Michael Parr. Spedora, which I believe is actually a short film from Fred Olin Ray. This I had to grab because I either forgot it existed or just, I don't know, just overlooked it. But it is a Clint Howard. It's like Home Alone with a Chihuahua, and it's Clint Howard and Judge Reinhold. It's called Ping. I did a double take, so I'm like, I have not fucking heard of this thing. I mean, it's an old DVD. I think the movie was like in 1999. So I had to own it. I have Chihuahuas and Chihuahua mixes, so need an excuse to watch that. That's why, Jay, you got to bring back commentary night, and we can. One second, I'll check the chat here. Let's see. Yeah, Michael Eklund is an amazing actor. He should be better known. Brian, I assume you're talking Enter the Video Store. Got it from Grindhouse Video. Yeah. Yeah, Region Free Season 3 on YouTube. If you follow me on Twitter, Dirk, you'll see my posts. But I do ask everybody, after you watch the episode, leave some comment, because we do read them for mail day on the next episode. Can be goofy, can tell us we're full of shit, whatever. We need more people commenting on the videos. But yeah, Region Free Season 3. It'll come up. And it's the same channel that it was on well, not channel, the same Twitter that it always was, but it's a new Region Free channel, so you should find it under Region Free Season 3. I'll post the link directly before I bow out here. Sorry, I got the wrong window open. We reviewed this forever ago, but it came to DVD recently. Swim, another Asylum shark flick. The gimmick was kind of cool, if I remember right. In this one, it's like a beach house that is like washing out into a sea of sharks. Don't remember much about this one, but I think there's another friend or radio person from the past that had something to do with this movie. Deaden. It's like an action movie, low budget action movie. That name's in my head, and I know it's somebody we either interviewed or did something with back in the day. No idea what this is, but Breaking Point, Sticky Fingers, Tom Berenger, Busta Rhymes is in it. So just a random dollar pickup. It looks like sort of a crime flick. Probably got that at Second and Charles. Arnold Vosloo action movie, Death Train. War movie called Danger Close. Let's see, what are the final two of the evening? An Ava Green sci-fi movie. I'm all in on Ava Green no matter what. Matt Dillon called Proxima. And then a Mickey Rourke, Mina Suvari, Casper Van Dien action movie called Hunt Club, which is like a surviving the game kind of thing. I think that was a random Walmart pickup. So I believe that's everything. So I'm not going to do books again on these videos. I'm going to do a separate book video at some point for those of you that care. And I'll do action figures on that show and collectibles on that show too, which I don't get as the higher volume of those. So, but I do actually have stuff for that. Yeah. So I know we're going to be live again Wednesday. If you haven't listened yet, we had Jasmine St. Clair, former ECW superstar, current XPW superstar, AVN Hall of Famer, author, podcaster herself. She came on with us the other night, and that was a lot of fun. You will probably have to go to Patreon to see the unedited version of that interview. But that's why if you watch live, you catch some shit that later has to be edited. So yeah. And what else do I have coming up? So the next Region Free is going to be it's the 13th of every month. and I don't know who the surprise guest is going to be next month yet, but we appreciate subscribes, comments. Check out the last episode, which was really good. I will be on Goraphobe's channel, I believe, a week from tonight, which I believe is the 31st. I don't know if he announces ahead of time, so I don't want to say what we're doing, but it should be a good discussion. So I'll be doing that. What else we got going on here? You can also, if you haven't listened yet, I was with Born to Be Rad on S'mores Indoors, which S'mores Indoors will be back. Well, we'll be back with Corey in August or September, I believe. So he'll be back. You can always tend to pop up there. And the big one, going to be going back to LA at the end of August, and you can stop by the Flesh Wound Features table at XPW Genocide, which is going to be amazing. StreamXPW.com. Check that out. If you're a wrestling fan, XPW is doing the coolest shit in wrestling right now. You probably saw that viral clip of Masada being lit on fire, and the tough bastard still finishing the match with third-degree burns. If you haven't checked that out yet, I've been to hundreds of shows over my life, and that was probably the craziest fucking night of wrestling yet. XPW does have a show from New Jersey this Saturday. XPW I Hope You Die, which Jasmine hyped on our last one of our last videos from the other night, and that Schlack is defending his King of the Deathmatch title against The Body. That is going to be insane. I've gotten to know The Body a little bit lately, and I think I might have to say goodbye to him before that, because Schlack is a scary bastard. So I'm just hoping if Body survives that one, I'm going to call that a win if he survives it. So check out XPW. It's raw. It's the only wrestling left that's completely politically incorrect. Most of you are familiar with the Dark Side of the Ring episode, of course, most recently. And I was there the night Vic Grimes fell off the scaffold. And I think in some weird way, the Masada fire incident was even scarier. So you'll be seeing a lot of cool videos from California at the end of August into early September. And then, of course, it's fucking Halloween season at that point. And if I can figure out how, I did buy a Halloween themed, it's absolutely massive. So I'm going to try, I'm working on figuring out Instagram a little bit more. I am on there now. I don't know how to even really post. I can only add to my story, and maybe that is a post in Instagram world, but I am on there now. I'm killing time, Todd. If you're still watching, you can pop up anytime. I'm just wrapping up now. Taking any final questions from the chat. So thanks for hanging out tonight. I feel like it's a victory. Todd said it was going to be a 3-hour show. It was a 2.5-hour show, and that included his stuff. So basically a 2-hour show for me this time. So we'll try. HATMAN'S are going to be a little more. I'll have another one pretty soon because, like I said, I've got a ton of stuff coming in that's all just kind of taking a while. But we'll try and do more of these late night hangouts because I know they're popular and I know people miss them. And God, there's so much stuff that I've got to pimp right now, and I'm spacing, I know, on something. But yeah, I know we're going to have that shark exploitation show, which I think will be a lot of fun. I actually just watched that Shudder doc last night. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it yet, but so it'll be a review of that, then like just a general overview of shark exploitation, and some of our favorite shark exploitation movies. I can say it's not just a Jaws doc. It's, you know, the aftermath of Jaws and all the things that it inspired. Yeah, I know we're going to review Cobweb on Wednesday. We're going to also be doing, I'm spacing on some of the movies. I think I dropped them in Discord. Shark exploitation, though, is going to be a separate show. But yeah, we're doing Cobweb and Swamp Women from Sean Donahue. Swamp Woman. We'll be doing that one. The Flood, I know, is on the list, and a bunch of other ones. And I think that's pretty much everything. Like I said, I'll be streaming with Goraphobe for the first time in a week. So, and I think I dropped it. I'm mixed up. I've been watching a lot of stuff ahead of time, but I know Swamp Woman, like I said, The Flood, Cobweb. If I see Oppenheimer, I know Todd actually did that today. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to be sandwiched between people this weekend, and I do feel like I kind of want to see that on the 70 millimeter screen. So, yeah. All right, guys. So on that note, Sound of Summer, Ben. Yes, we are doing that as well from Unearthed Films. There you go. Thank you. You remember. Dirk, I tried to find that Exorcist 4K. Somebody said it's live. I can't find it. I'll have to look into that. I'm a little behind on that myself. I'm gonna have to figure it out. If you join our Discord, though, if you do Discord, like, you won't miss any sales. Our Discord's pretty fucking cool. Yes, Ben, the Santa Jaws director is hot. We need to do a Santa Jaws commentary this Christmas. But on that note, I think Todd's going to remote end this. So thank you for watching. We'll see you guys Wednesday night. Later.